Business and Leisure, your weekly window to the world of business and guide to the good life. Hosted by Mr. Ray Butch Gamboa.
Hello to everyone. Welcome to the perfect combination of business and the good life. This is Business and Leisure, your weekly business and lifestyle electronic magazine, where we shall bring you the week's significant business developments on BizWatch, while our weekly guide to the good life comes your way via our Leisure Report, hosted this week by our sunshine girl, Day Munsayak. She's here right now to give you an idea of what we have in store this week. Day?
Thanks, Butch. It is so nice to be back as your co-host on this edition of Business and Leisure. And as usual, I've got some exciting features in store for all of you, our lovely viewers. We start off with the latest events that happened in and even out of the metro. That is followed by our popular and most viewed segment, Places. And finally, our segment dedicated to all the firearm enthusiasts out there. This week, we put into spotlight another remarkable firearm for all of you in our Sports Shoot segment. Well, that's another interesting edition of Business and Leisure for you to watch out for. So hang on to your seats as we start our business talk with none other than our main man, Mr. Ray Butch Gamboa. Butch?
Thanks, Day. We'll see you right after I take care of business. Before we give you our presentation this week, we shall first pause for a short break, right after which it's all business talk on BizWatch.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Xpander.
See the horizon as a starting point. Use each obstacle to gain momentum. Make the unknown routine. Continue where all others stop. New Peugeot SUV range. Never have SUVs gone so far.
I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too.
So, why are you back?
I didn't want to miss you.
Welcome back to Business and Leisure, and we now start talking serious business on BizWatch, our business section. For our lead issue this week, we have seen the inflationary effects of the tax reform program that the present administration has adopted. However, despite this, the Department of Finance is now pushing for higher taxes on certain products, specifically the so-called SIN products. Our business reporter Andre Cole has the story.
Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez defended his position to push for higher taxes on SIN products, particularly cigarettes, saying that this move is the right thing to do. Secretary Dominguez cited the harmful effects of cigarettes on public health.
Inflation, which is the rate of increase of consumer products in the country, rose to 4.5% in April this year. This was mainly driven by the 20% increase in cost of tobacco and alcoholic beverages. Economists note that this rate is an all-time high in 5 years. More of the story from our business reporter.
Due to the inflation rate of April 2018, our year-to-date average is 4.1%. just a bit higher than the target of between 2.0 to 4.0%. The increase in taxes on sin products are incorporated in the Package 2 Plus of the new comprehensive tax reform proposal. At present, the bill seeking to raise the excise tax rates on cigarettes is pending in Congress. Senator Manny Pacquiao is the author of Senate Bill number 1599, which seeks to raise the tobacco excise tax by at least 100%. It also proposes to increase the succeeding annual increases from 4.0 to 9.0%. In another development, JT International Philippines is urging the Duterte administration to address first the increase in smuggled cigarettes before introducing another increase in sin taxes. According to the company's president, Manos Kokorakis, billions of tax revenues are lost by the government because of this.
JTI Philippines also claims that smuggled cigarettes, which are unregulated, may also be more harmful than legitimate cigarettes. Meanwhile, businesses may now look forward to finally having the standards and certification system in line with the incentives for enterprises and businesses that are promoting green jobs. Here's our BizWatch correspondent Heidi Santos with the details.
The Climate Change Commission is the agency that is developing these standards and certification system. Secretary Emmanuel de Guzman of the Commission announced that they are now developing the system after the issuance of the implementing rules and regulations of the Green Jobs Act in September 2017.
The Climate Change Commission is working together with the International Labour Organization and conducted a series of multi-stakeholder consultations on green jobs and just transition to raise awareness on green jobs. The Commission is also updating the National Climate Change Action Plan to include the 2017-2022 Philippine Development Plan and the Nationally Determined Contribution. More details from our BizWatch correspondent.
The Nationally Determined Contributions, or NDC, which is our new industrial policy and investment agenda, seeks to generate more jobs than if businesses insist on carbon-intensive business directions. Secretary de Guzman called on the private sector to invest on green and climate-friendly ventures as he continues to promote green banking and climate financing within our domestic business sector. In the face of imminent environmental degradation, the Secretary also said that it is imperative for the country to pursue low-carbon and green economic development. This also calls for a just transition from the current system.
Indeed, the transition to green businesses is not an easy one. The Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and the Paris Agreement on Climate Change should pave the way for this transition to low-carbon development. Allow us now to take a quick break. We will be back with more relevant and informative business issues when we get back. So stay with us.
Motoring Today is now on the web. Watch this episode or other past episodes of the country's longest-running motoring program any time of the day by logging on to our website, motoringtoday.ph. Motoring Today is now online, just a click away.
See the horizon as a starting point. Use each obstacle to gain momentum. Make the unknown routine. Continue where all others stop. New Peugeot SUV range. Never have SUVs gone so far.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Expander.
Welcome back to BizWatch as we continue with more interesting business issues for you. The agri-sector has an ally in Agriculture Secretary Emmanuel Piñol. The Secretary is calling for a stop on the conversion of agricultural lands into subdivisions and industrial complexes. Andre Ko has the story.
Although this plan of Secretary Piñol may not sit well with one of our legislators, the Agriculture Secretary is dead set on pushing this plan and has brought it to the attention of President Duterte. According to the Agriculture Secretary, the Philippines is losing about 50,000 hectares of land every year to industrial and residential developments. He has dubbed this as illegal.
The conversion of prime agricultural lands into residential and industrial use has created a conflict between the national government agencies and local government units. Secretary Piñol has directed all agriculture regional directors to document all conversions of agricultural lands for other purposes in their areas. For her part, Secretary Cynthia Villar was quoted as saying, and we quote, "Let's not worry about land conversion. They mean progress," unquote. More of the story with our BizWatch correspondent.
Senator Cynthia Villar is the chair of the Senate Committee on Agriculture and Food. Secretary Piñol, for his part, has also stated that real estate developers often try to find a loophole in the law where real estate investors can only convert agricultural lands that have not been used for farming for 3 years. What happens, he said, is that investors buy prime farmlands and wait out for the 3-year reglementary period before applying for conversion. Secretary Piñol also assailed the power of LGUs to reclassify lands within their political boundaries and allow the use of these areas for purposes other than agricultural. This power has resulted into the indiscriminate conversion of prime agri lands into industrial or residential areas, said Secretary Piñol.
Secretary Emmanuel Piñol also lamented the fact that real estate developers, in collaboration with LGUs, proceed with the conversion without securing clearances from the National Government Committee which handles land conversions. And for our fourth and final issue this week, there is a strict timeline of 65 days to approve applications of customers seeking direct connection to the power grid. This especially holds true for industries that have been battling for efficient and reliable electricity services. Heidi Santos has the details.
The Department of Energy is enforcing this strict timeline of 65 days. This agency is set to ensure the provision of adequate and reliable power supplies for industrial enterprises, hoping to promote investments and industrial development as well as generating exports and employment. It is for this purpose that the DOE is prescribing the maximum number of days for the processing of applications for direct connection starting from its submission to the Office of the DOE Secretary. The Direct Connection Review and Evaluation Committee of DOE will govern the processing of these applications together with a technical working group. Heading this committee is DOE Undersecretary, supervising the Electric Power Industry Management Bureau to ensure an orderly and transparent manner of processing and resolving direct connection applications.
This is attractive to many industrial end users because it would mean cheaper cost for them as against procuring electricity supply and service from franchise distribution utilities. Currently, there is a very intense contest that power suppliers have been offering to qualified contestable customers, which are usually industrial end users. The rest of the details from our business reporter.
Applications for direct connection of qualified entities will cover technical, financial, and legal aspects. Before the final issuance of the department order, the Department of Energy has advised stakeholders that it will undertake first the necessary consultations, group discussions, or even formal hearings. This is for the purpose of gathering and determining all facts related to direct connection applications.
The Department of Energy will gather and determine these facts from petitioner, industrial enterprises, franchise distribution utilities, the National Grid Corporation, generation companies, and other relevant groups. With this, we end this week's edition of BizWatch. Join us again next week for more interesting and informative business issues. We shall pause for another break, and when we come back, we'll have the Corporate Social Responsibility segment of Business and Leisure. Please stay with us.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Expander.
See the horizon as a starting point. Use each obstacle to gain momentum. Make the unknown routine. Continue where all others stop. New Peugeot SUV range. Never have SUVs gone so far.
These are the Fuel Masters. Every time they're on the court, it's high performance. Every time I'm on the road, I can also expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. We made it! The next generation Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too.
So, why are you back?
I didn't want to miss you.
Continuing with Business and Leisure, you're still on BNL's business section. And what we have next is our Corporate Social Responsibility segment. This week we have another outstanding corporate social responsibility project on focus. This one is from a corporate citizen which recognizes the dangers out in the streets and has chosen to do something about it.
Ford Philippines is committed to road safety, and for some 10 years now, they have been doing something about it. This year, their Driving Skills for Life project won the Platinum Award at the recent Driven to Serve project of the Society of Philippine Motoring Journalists, which recognizes the most outstanding CSR projects of the automotive companies in the Philippines. It would be interesting to know more about this road safety project from EJ Francisco, AVP for Communications of Ford Group Philippines.
Well, the road safety project that we entered is called Driving Skills for Life. So I'm sure a lot of people are very familiar already with the Driving Skills for Life, or what we call as our DSFL here at Ford. So we've been entering the SPMJ Driven to Serve Awards with the DSFL for quite a while now, and we are very, very fortunate and very happy to have been given the Platinum citation for a couple of years now for DSFL for the road safety category. So we're very excited to continue on with this project because we know that it's really making some great impact to the community. So ever since DSFL started in the Philippines 10 years ago, about more than 20,000 drivers have already benefited from the program. A lot of these drivers are actually private and public utility vehicle drivers. So those who drive their own cars and those who drive their own jeepneys and buses and taxis. So they've been a great beneficiary of the DSFL program ever since it started, and we hope to continue reaching out to more drivers nationwide.
This project is an advocacy of Ford, the global company. It was actually established in the U.S. in 2003 by Ford Motor Company, the Governor's Highway Safety Association, and a panel of safety experts. The project hopes to sustain driver awareness on traffic signs and regulations, road courtesy, and other topics.
So the DSFL is a globally recognized program by the United Nations. It's something that Ford implements across all of the markets, including the Philippines. So the DSFL actually has a lot of topics that is being covered year in and year out, and we continue to refresh the topics depending on what's relevant. So number one, there's a refresher on safe driving, so that includes a lot of tips and techniques on how to drive safely. We also talk about green driving or fuel efficient driving in the DSFL because of course we want to be always make sure that we want to save some fuel and gas, diba, when it comes to driving. And of course, just recently in 2017, what we did was we also had a module on distracted driving, which is something new and relevant for the Philippines. So it involves how not to use your mobile phone while you're driving, because definitely that is something that is not safe, no, while you're driving on the road. Well, for as long as you're a driver, you're free to go. It's an offer that we have that we really extend to all drivers for free. No, you don't have to pay anything for as long as you think that you need some refresher on how to really drive safely. Then you can let us know. You can let us know if you want to participate, and we'll be very happy to have you in one of the DSFL sessions that we have.
To bring their message of safe driving to as many drivers as they can reach out to, Ford Philippines has partnered with Tuason Racing School.
Well, we have a partner in Tuason Racing School, or TRS. They are the official facilitators of the Driving Skills for Life, and they continue to undergo training globally with our global offices to make sure that the tips and the information practically that we share at the DSFL is something that is up to date and keeping up with the time, so to speak, with what's happening in the roads now in the Philippines. We don't have a formal partnership with the government, but the government continues to recognize our efforts to implement the DSFL. In fact, we have basically been able to partner particularly with the local government unit of Muntinlupa to bring the DSFL program to Muntinlupa drivers, PUV drivers, taxi drivers, and even bus drivers. So we hope to be able to really get into a lot of these collaboration with government and with the LGUs, especially in non-Metro Manila areas, because a lot of the drivers definitely are still there, you know, based there in Luzon, in Visayas, and Mindanao. So we hope to continue on with talking and collaborating with the local government units to bring the DSFL to their areas soon.
Here's JP Tuazon, Ford's instructor and facilitator.
Ford Driving Skills for Life program is a global program of Ford to teach people how to become better drivers on the road, safer drivers, and how to save fuel. Now, this program is a combination of classroom sessions and on-road driving. So the on-road driving sessions have 3 components. We basically teach people how to become more fuel efficient by taking the classroom theory and showing them how to do it in the actual vehicles.
The Driving Skills for Life marked its 10th year in 2017. And here are the highlights of this 10th anniversary.
Mahilig ako mag-text, mahilig akong magsakay ng anak ko sa harap. So siguro ngayon, ang laki ng pinagpagbabago na gagawin ko, hindi na ako magte-text, hindi na ako. Kasi sobrang delikado talaga pala ang mag-text.
Malaking tulong yon sa Uber driver, especially yung mga basic na natutunan namin kay Mr. Tuason. Malaking bagay yun na may apply.
Since the beginning of DSFL in the Philippines, which is 10 years ago in 2008, we have been able to reach about 20,000 drivers, and in 2017, actually the highest in the DSFL history, we've reached over 3,000 drivers already. So we have about close to about 24,000 drivers reached in the Philippines ever since DSFL started. So that has been something that we have done over the couple of years. And in terms of how far we've reached, we've done DSFL in 2017 in Davao, which is warmly accepted by drivers and even traffic regulators in Davao. No? We've been able to bring DSFL to Davao, and hopefully in 2018 we get to bring DSFL to more areas.
For 2017, the program has reached not only taxi drivers, but taxi operators as well, schools and universities, and has partnered with the local government unit of Muntinlupa where their corporate offices are. In the next 5 or 10 years, Ford Philippines hopes that they can reach out to even more drivers.
In the next 5 to 10 years, we still see DSFL as alive as a program here in the Philippines. In 2018, one of our plans is really to bring DSFL to more areas nationwide, to cover more areas in the Zone Visayas, Mindanao. Because prior to 2017, it used to be just in Metro Manila and in schools. So we recognize that safe driving is not just extended to private drivers, but more so to public utility vehicle drivers, no? To jeepney drivers, bus drivers, and taxi drivers. Because usually when you go and read the news, the rampant cases of accidents and road safety issues are actually emanating from public utility vehicle drivers, and we recognize that they don't have that formal education when it comes to safe driving. They have not been sent to driving schools, no? So what we're trying to do here is to really formalize that education and make sure that whatever they learn in the morning session, they get to easily apply in the afternoon session. So that's what's also very important for DSFL, is to bring to life the practice, the learnings that you get from the classroom training. So it's not just a classroom training where you sit down for 2 hours and listen to the facilitator. After 2 hours, there's a lot of Q&A, you get to ask a lot of questions. You also get to practice driving, because that's what's also very important. After the classroom session, we open up to the participants, no? Of course, driving Ford cars, on how they can practice safe driving instantly, and how they can bring to life the learnings that they have or that they had in the morning session. So that's what's really core. That's really a core element to DSFL, is to really make sure that whatever you learn, you get to practice instantly.
And there lies the core of their mission, to promote safe driving that one can practice and bring to life instantly. Enrolling in the program is easy.
Well, they can send us an email or they can send us a message on Facebook. We're always there on Facebook. And we'll be happy to assess whether, how many participants. Because syempre, we can't naman do like in an area just one participant there, diba? We have to make sure that the program really is able to reach out to a number of drivers. So the first thing that you can do is to send us a Facebook message to make sure that it reaches us, and we'll be happy to assess how we can bring the DSFL program to your area.
And here's EJ Francisco of Ford Group Philippines with their message to all Filipino drivers.
So to all the drivers watching us for this program, we are very excited to bring the DSFL program this year closest to you. Please let us know by sending us a Facebook message if you're really bent and interested to have DSFL in your area, and we'll be happy to assess whether it's something that we can go to this 2018. But we are very excited to bring the DSFL to a lot of drivers this year. We continue to bring the DSFL to more areas nationwide, and we hope to help the government and even the authorities to help raise awareness about the dangers of distracted driving. Hopefully, by the end of this year, we'll have more safe drivers on the road.
That was Ford Philippines CSR project on Focus this week, the driving skills for life. Our lifestyle section is coming up next with our sunshine girl, Day Munsayak. Don't go anywhere.
Rediscover an extraordinary world as it unfolds before your eyes with the all-new 7-seater diesel CR-V. See the extraordinary.
Think you're tough? Do you dare to go off-road or off-key? Do you use your great power with great control? With the new Isuzu D-Max, you're tough enough to be unstoppable. And you're tough enough to be right back. Isuzu D-Max, tough enough for anything.
Calling all automobile enthusiasts. Autofocus.com.ph is exclusive to the automobile, where you'll find reviews on the latest brand new car models, together with their head-to-head comparisons. It has the detailed specs of car models available in the country and their latest SRPs and special promos, together with the latest auto industry news and developments like car launches and test drives. Autofocus.com.ph is all about automobiles. Click on.
You're still with us here on Business and Leisure, and now we go right on to the lifestyle section as I turn you over to our co-host this week, Sunshine Girl Damon Sayak, for our leisure report. Go ahead, Day.
Thanks, Butch, and hello everyone. You're back here with me as we dish out the best of the lifestyle section. I'm Damon Sayak, and let's get this show on the road with the latest and trendiest events that happened in and even out of the metro. Here now is Lifestyle Chronicles.
Toyota Motor Philippines once again staged the Toyota Road Trek, an annual driving event for the motoring media en route to different destinations in the country. This year, after a whole day of driving through some of the located Toyota dealerships in Central Luzon, the group went to a 3-day trip to the island of Balisin in Quezon Province and also showcased the capabilities of the newly launched Toyota Rush in different activities that the trekkers went through the 3-day event.
This road trek is our event to give opportunity to the media for them to experience our latest model. So, and also to build up the good relationship with media people, making the camaraderie. This year we just proposed for them to drive our new models just launched this month. That is Rush, Toyota Rush. This is our new entry SUV models. So I hope media people enjoy to drive these new models.
More events coming your way only here on Lifestyle Chronicles. Excited to see what we have for you this time? Watch this.
Romulo Cafe is by now a byword in the local culinary world, having opened its first branch 9 years ago. BNL paid a visit to this latest branch that they opened in Alabang at the Azumi Boutique Hotel and was greeted warmly by the owners, Sandy and Enzo Squilantini. Sandy is a granddaughter of the great Filipino statesman General Carlos P. Romulo.
Well, I'm the granddaughter of Carlos Romulo, and this restaurant is in honor of him. We've been at it for the last 9 years. Am I right? 9 years. It was really the brainchild of my husband, so maybe he should be the one to explain what his thoughts were about it.
Thought that it would be a nice thing to honor a great man, Carlos P. Romulo, who loved Filipino food. He loved to travel. He loved to entertain, he loved to see people. So what better venue than a restaurant where people can socialize, have a good meal. So that's what I thought of in 2009. We opened our first Romulo Cafe in Quezon City.
The Romulo Cafe in Quezon City was actually their very first branch, a partnership with famous designer Ivy Almario.
Our first instinct actually was to open in Makati. But then for some reason, a friend said, why don't you look at Quezon City? You know, the rent is very reasonable. There's a lot of people there. Why don't you try? So we went to our first branch. We saw the place. Then we invited our partner, Ivy Almario, the designer, to come with us. And when she saw the place, she immediately fell in love with it and said, I think we can do something nice with this place. So that's how it started, how it became like a house. She designed it like how it looked, how our house looked before. I showed her pictures of our childhood house. It was called Kasiyahan. And we did the black and white floors because that's how our dining room area was in the old house. So things, little touches like that we put in, made it like a really homey restaurant. So really, lutong bahay, you know, welcoming you to our house. That was really the idea behind Romulo Cafe.
Their first branch was an instant success, and it didn't take the couple and their business partner to plan their second and ultimately their third branch.
After Quezon City, we opened in Makati in 2011. And then after 2011, friends of ours, the owners of the hotel, said, you know, when they were still building it, they said, would you like to run the F&B of the hotel? And this was 2014. Well, we were talking 2012, 2013, and we said, yeah, sure, we'd like to open in Alabang. So that was, the opportunity was presented to us and we took it.
And this is their latest baby, Romulo Cafe in Alabang, located at the Azumi Boutique Hotel. It distinguishes itself from the two previous ones, but all three share the same historic and nostalgic touches that make Romulo Cafe stand out.
Unlike the other Romulo Cafes, because it's really about my grandfather's life, and if you look at the other branches, it's really about the people he knew, like we have the historic Leyte Landing, or when he was president of United Nations, things like that. In this branch, it's letters that, you know, all these dignitaries wrote him. So there are here letters from General MacArthur, letters from the Kennedys, things like that we wanted to show in this branch, something different.
When your forefather is a historical figure who figures in history books like Carlos P. Romulo, there will invariably be loads of important memorabilia collected from his colorful and eventful past. And the family has collected them all and kept them in mint condition. There are well-kept letters identified with accompanying pictures of foreign presidents and dignitaries, as well as their own historical luminaries as well. When they first opened, their target market was of course the hotel guests and the Alabang residents. But because of word of mouth, people from as far as Cavite and neighboring cities venture into their cafe with high expectations.
Well, a lot of people said finally, because it's kind of far to go all the way to Makati and Quezon City. Though we had people who actually would come from Cavite, Alabang, and go all the way to Quezon City when we first opened. I think what makes us unique is the historical value we have in the restaurant. So aside from the good food, which is really my grandmother's recipes, you can walk around and read all the historical facts on the walls and see, you know, what my grandfather was all about. And we were hoping that this would inspire the youth to strive to be world-class also like him.
Indeed, the letters on the walls, proudly framed by his family, tells much of how the world thought of the little man who stood proud among the presidents and dignitaries of the world. Sandy and Enzo Scilantini have done well to preserve and honor his memory when they opened Romulo Cafe. Inside the cafe's interiors are more contemporary, but still decidedly Filipino. The walls evoke a nostalgic touch.
We're happy. It's doing quite well.
Quite well. This particular one, yeah, it's doing okay. Number one is still Quezon City.
Well, maybe in time it will be a good fight among the three branches as to which one leads. But for now, let's check out their personal favorites among their offerings.
Well, our number one seller is Lola Virginia's Relleno. It's her original recipe and actually is still made in our house. So nobody, not our cooks or anybody, know how to make that. It's really from our house.
My favorite dish here, well, one of them is the chicken relleno, and then maybe the next one would be the crispy pata.
Romulo Cafe in Alabang seats about 70 to 80 guests, and because it is located inside a hotel, they serve breakfast really early.
This particular one in Alabang, since this is in a hotel, we serve breakfast, and I think that starts at 6 a.m. It's the only one. Quezon City and Makati don't start at 6. So this starts from 6 until 10 in the evening, while Quezon City and Makati are, I believe it starts 10:30 or 11 in the morning, and then until 3 in the afternoon, it's a break for lunch, and then we open again for dinner at 6 o'clock, and then close at about 10.
They have their ample share of big events like weddings, baptismals, and birthday parties. But every day is a busy day for them because they offer value for money.
Average check is about, we're going about 590 per person, between 550 and 590. That's the average check.
We asked the couple if there is another branch in the drawing board for Romulo Cafe.
Actually, 2 years ago, we opened in London. And so we've been getting offers to open in other countries. But I don't know, that still remains to be seen.
And now it's time to check out the feast that Sandy Scilantini has laid out for viewers.
These are our best sellers in Romulo Cafe. These are our signature dishes. This is our chicken relleno, Lola Virginia's chicken relleno. This is Tito Greg's kare-kare. This one is called boneless crispy patang binagoongan. And this is the flying tilapia with 3 different sauces. Bagoong, honey bagoong, chili garlic, and a soy sauce.
Let's have a second and third look at these fascinating dishes, all Filipino favorites. The chicken relleno, of course, as Sandy Romulo Scilantini earlier said, is prepared from their kitchen at home. It remains a family heirloom recipe that she is sharing with the public at their restaurant. And here's the perennial favorite of all Pinoys here and abroad, the kare-kare, the peanut-based dish that features luscious beef pata and tripes, a serving of vegetable, and of course, this deliciously oily bagoong. The cafe has taken the crispy pata another notch higher, serving it boneless but still crisp and with a bagoong dipping sauce. And finally, the flying tilapia, which is all crisp from all sides, served with 3 different dipping sauces.
These are our 2 best-selling desserts. This is called suman salatik, and this is my grandfather's favorite halo-halo.
The suman salatik is uniquely served in small glasses. And the halo-halo features generous servings of leche flan and ube ice cream on top of creamy fine ice. Well, if those dishes make your mouth water and those historical touches on the walls make you proud to be a Filipino, heed Sandy's and Enzo's personal invite.
We'd like to invite everybody to visit Romulo Cafe in Alabang, Makati and Quezon City, and London if you're ever there.
That's our latest food find. 4 places. Be sure to check that one out, all right? Our sports shoot segment is coming right up after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Rediscover an extraordinary world as it unfolds before your eyes with the all-new 7-seater diesel CR-V. See the extraordinary.
Think you're tough? Do you dare to go off-road or off-key? Do you use your great power with great control? With the new Isuzu D-Max, you're tough enough to be unstoppable. And you're tough enough to be right back. Isuzu D-Max, tough enough for anything.
When you sweat to be sweet and you clean car seat, it's love. When you try to look cool, but you look like a fool, it's love. It's love. It's love.
Show your love with the new features of the all-new Innova. Love the journey.
These are the Fuel Masters. Every time they're on the court, it's high performance. Every time I'm on the road, I can also expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. We made it! The next generation Phoenix Fuels, now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
Welcome back to the lifestyle section of Business and Leisure. Let's all find out what we have to offer to all the firearm enthusiasts out there. Check this out.
Sports Shoot is brought to you by Rock Island Armory, manufactured by Arms Corps Global Defense Incorporated. Sports Shoot is brought to you by Rock Island Armory, manufactured by Arms Corps Global Defense Incorporated.
Welcome to Sports Shoot. This is a leisure segment for the gun enthusiast. This week, our featured handgun is the Ruger LCP-2, a sequel to the original Ruger LCP that came out in 2008. A compact, flat, lightweight, and reliable pistol. The Ruger LCP-2 is a striker-fired semi-automatic. It is a 380 ACP pistol that has a capacity of 6+1 rounds. The barrel measures 2.75 inches, but its overall length is 5.17. The Ruger LCP-2 has a height of 3.71 inches and it weighs 10.6 ounces. The gun is finished in black nitride steel with a black polymer frame. It is fixed serrated or blade notch for sights. The trigger was tested at 5 pounds 8 ounce and it retails in the US for $350. On the range, according to the experts, the gun feels light but also feels like a crisp single-action trigger. The Ruger LCP-2, however, does not have wrist strike capability. In a very rare chance that one round fails to go off, the shooter has to work the slide to recock the gun. The pistol's small size also makes it hard to control the recoil. It also does not have a hold-open mechanism, which makes the shooter unaware that the gun is already empty. The LCP-2 also has to be carried with an LCP-2 magazine if one wants to hold 7 rounds. Overall, for its diminutive size, this ultra-compact pistol consumed all the ammunition without fail. It is perfect as a concealed carry because it can fit just about anywhere you want to carry it. That was the Ruger LCP2, our featured handgun for this week's Sports Shoot. And that's Sports Shoot, Business and Leisure segment for the gun enthusiasts.
Sports Shoot is brought to you by Rock Island Armory, manufactured by Armscore Global Defense Incorporated. Sports Shoot is brought to you by Rock Island Armory, manufactured by Armscore Global Defense Incorporated.
That's another remarkable firearm on Spotlight in our Sports Shoot segment. Well, friends, that concludes the lifestyle part of our show. We'll have more in store for you next time, so be sure to come back at the same time next week, all right? I'm Damon Sayak, your sunshine girl, bidding you bye for now, and I'll see you again very soon. Now, back to our main man, Mr. Ray Butch Gamboa. Butch?
Thanks, Dave, for another interesting and engaging edition of the Leisure Report. And with that, we end another episode of Business and Leisure. Thank you for staying with us. Also, don't forget to follow us in our social media accounts. Till the next time, this has been your host, Ray Butch Gamboa. Good business to all and enjoy the good life.